It's very unfair that you as a woman can choose to abort and as a man should be okay with it. But then if you choose to keep the child, as a man, I'm expected to step up to your decisions. That's very unfair. And when it's such a matter of a child, you cannot force a child on a man when they're not ready, because they're not going to be able to be the best version of themselves or the best version of the father that you expect them to be. I'm just speaking on behalf of the man. If you as a woman, you have that freedom to choose whether you want to abort the child or not, then I as the man should have the freedom to choose if I want to be in the child's life or not. Disclaimer, this podcast is all about real conversations, raw, authentic, and unscripted. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in raw conversations are solely those of the host and the guests. If you're struggling, please reach out to someone qualified. And remember, take what helps, leave what doesn't. Welcome to the circle. Let's keep it raw, real, and respectful. Welcome to Raw Conversations with me, Herald Kavuala. Thank you so much for tuning in. If it's your first time, please watch through the whole episode. And if you like what you hear, please do subscribe. It does support the channel and encourage you to carry on doing what I love doing. And if you're a recurring viewer, please just make sure that you have subscribed, because at the back end, YouTube that tells me, I think over 75% of you guys are recurring but are not subscribed. So please, if you're a recurring viewer, please do subscribe. It supports the channel and it encourages me to actually carry on doing what I love doing. I will carry on doing what I love doing regardless, but it does help to know that I actually enjoy the content and find it helpful and motivating and, whatever else. So, as you can see in the topic, it's going to be a very controversial topic that I'm touching on today. And I've decided to touch on it because it's a bit unfair how we choose to treat men as women. If you as a woman have that, I want to say privilege, but if you have that option to abort a child, I as a man should have the option to deny the child. I find it's only fair. Like I said, it'll be very controversial. A lot of my Christian fan base might not like this. A lot of people that watch this might also not like or agree with what I'm saying. But I'm just speaking on behalf of the man. If you as a woman, you have that freedom to choose whether you want to abort the child or not, then I as the man should have the freedom to choose if I want to be in the child's life or not. I just find it to be fair. Dave Chappelle even said it very well on stand-up. If you can abort the child, I can be absent. I can choose to be absent. I can choose to not be part of a child's life. And why am I touching on this? Because Yagga is a content creator. I believe he's also a streamer, and I follow him on Instagram, but I think it's also on many other platforms. His girlfriend came to socials accusing him of not being a present father, of which I'm going to say it up front that I do not support men being absent fathers. I'm not in support of that. Every man should own up to their responsibilities regardless, right? Now, with that being said, Yagga's case is a bit different here. And I'm going to play a video here of her. Obviously, you guys can, if you guys want, you can actually go see it. I'm actually going to put up the whole video. It's on Nairobi Gossip _club. Shout out to them on Instagram. And if you guys want to watch the whole video, because I watched all the videos to get full context of what's happening, I haven't seen Yagga's responses yet. But I'm going to play the video now, and then I'm going to give my view on what I think.
When I told him I'm pregnant, he told me he wants to confirm. So I was like, okay, when? He told me because I was in Mombasa, I told him when I come back from Mombasa, I will pass by your place, you buy a test kit, we confirm. And we did. I peed in front of him. We took the test when he was there, and he found out it was positive. So he sat me down and told me, Melody, I'm not ready to be a father. So did you do an abortion? I said, no, I will not do an abortion. He said, no, it's just because I'm not ready to be a father or something. I said, you know what, if you're not, you can leave. I actually told him, you can leave. I will manage by myself. He said, no, you're even a girl. You're still young. You still have a future. I said, no, I will not abort. You will not convince me to abort. And if you're not ready, you yourself, you can exit. I will manage by myself. My mother loves me, so she will have me. Then he said, it's okay then. I will be there. I said, okay, but I'm not forced to. You can literally walk away when you want to. So that is it. We were very nice. And I started developing feelings for him. I was going to his place on and off. Yeah, I started developing feelings for him until the 5th. I was also talking to his friends. His friends, some of them had good things to say, some of them had bad. I didn't know, before you know who you're settling with, you must gather some information here and there, here and there. So I was talking to most of his friends. So some of them told me this, some of them told me that.
So yeah, that's just one of the many videos that she's uploaded. Okay, my biggest gripe here, my biggest issue with this is this. If a man pregnants you, right? In this case of Yagga. And right now it's her word. Okay, I'm gonna put another video, I'm gonna play another video of Yagga actually saying, then let's do a DNA test. He doesn't believe it's his child. She believes it's his child. Okay, it's a matter of he said, she said situation right here, right now. But what the matter at hand is there is a child present, right? And she claims the child is Yagga's child. Now, in this video, she clearly says that Yagga tells her to abort the child, right? Because he's not ready to be a father as yet. Now, one thing we need to all acknowledge is, as human beings, is that when a man is not ready for something, it's very hard to, how do I even phrase this? If a man's not ready for something, you can't get him ready until when he himself is ready. And with such a matter of a child, you cannot force a child on a man when they're not ready, because they're not going to be able to be the best version of themselves or the best version of the father you expect them to be. So I understand her not wanting to abort. Like I said, if you have the choice to abort, actually have the choice to deny. She chose not to abort the child, right? But Yagga had already put it to the table that, look, I'm not ready to be a father, and you are not ready to be a mother yet. You still have a long life ahead of you. There's a lot of things for you to do. Same thing with me. Probably he wanted to pursue his career a bit more and focus on himself and build his brand as he's currently doing. And having a child, it does affect it. Trust me, I know. I have a child. It's a year old pretty soon, and I know how much it has affected me in terms of my career and how I want to do things in life. It slowed me down. I had to restructure stuff and look at things differently for the sake of my child. So maybe Yagga wasn't ready for that stuff, right? And that's why he said, please abort the child. Maybe for whatever religious reasons or whatever personal reasons she chose not to abort. That's her reasons, right? But now for her to come up and now want to have an issue with Yagga saying you are being an absent father, saying that he's not helping her with the child and that he is not stepping forward to the plate as he should, I find it to be very unfair. Because if you as a woman decided to abort the child and I wanted the child, I can't now resent you and hate you for aborting. I'm not going to hold that against you and be like, oh no, but you killed my son. Oh no, but you killed my child. You're going to be like, I was not ready to have the child. I was not ready to give birth to the child. And as a man, I'm supposed to understand that. So as a woman too, if a man tells you I'm not ready to have a child, you too ought to understand that and respect that. As a woman, you too ought to understand and respect that. And now I'm not for abortion. As a Christian man, I'm not for abortion. But as a logical man, if I'm not ready to have a child, I'm not ready to have a child. I'm sorry, but that's the reality of life. As a Christian man, I'm against abortion. But as a logical man, I'm sorry, if I'm not in that place of a child, I'm not in that place of a child. I'm going to play a video now where Yagga actually says that let's have a DNA to see if the child is mine or not. Okay? I'm going to play the video now. I want you guys to hear what it says.
What have you agreed to? What have you agreed to?
I've agreed we do DNA test.
And then?
After that, I'll take it.
So, what this whole thing just tells me is, and I'm not in defense of Yagga, but I'm just speaking, I guess, on a logical sense, or I'm just speaking on the sense of saying that you can't expect him to be responsible for something he's not ready for. It's unfair to him, right? And he even says it. Please don't keep this child. I'm pretty sure he was ready to pay for the abortion. He was ready. But she chose to keep the child, and now she wants to make that his responsibility. That's unfair of her to do so. Yagga should not be liable for a decision he was able to avoid. She chose to keep the child. She should be able to take care of the child. She does say in other videos that Yagga's friends had to step up for him. I don't blame Yagga for choosing to not. And I don't blame the friends for choosing to step up. That's their own personal decisions, right? But I'm not holding anything against Yagga. I'm really not. In fact, somehow, I side with him. If I pregnant someone and I tell you, I'm not ready to have a child and you keep the child, you're raising the child by yourself. Because I believe parenting It's something that two people agree. Same thing with having intercourse. Both partners have to agree. If both partners don't agree, then it's rape. On either side, rape from the woman to the man or from the man to the woman. It's rape if one of the partners do not agree to having sexual intercourse. Then you're raping the other person. Same thing with parenting. If one partner is not ready to parent and you force him to parent, that's not fair. That's not fair to the other person because they were not ready for it. Both people should be ready. A child is not. It's not something we take lightly. A kid is not something we take lightly. Both parties have to be ready for it. So she chose, and I believe her name is Melody. She chose to have the child. It's her responsibility to raise that child until Yaga comes back and say, you know what, I think now I'm ready to actually do this. And she says that Yaga has been avoiding doing the DNA test to prove that he's a child. And I can't blame him if he's not ready for that reality as yet. Don't force it on the man. This is how men run away from responsibilities. This is how kids grow up without fathers because women are pressurizing them into a life they're not ready to embark on, into a journey they're not ready to start. Being a father is not an easy job. I am one. My child's only is going to turn 1 year in a few months. I know what it is being a father. I'm still learning how to be a father, but I can tell you what the journey is so far. That's not an easy job. So yeah, man, that was my 2 cents on this whole entire matter. It's very unfair that you as a woman can choose to abort and as a man should be okay with it. But then if you choose to keep the child, as a man, I'm expected to step up to your decisions. That's very unfair. If you can abort the child, I can deny the child. If you choose to keep the child and I don't want the child, I can also choose to deny this child because I don't want it. And that's my 2 cents. So, to all the ladies out there, let us try and be fair and try to understand men. I understand that we are expected to be strong. We are expected to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. But we're not all built the same. Not all of us are strong enough for that amount of weight and amount of pressure. Some men require a bit more time to adjust to life. And it's circle, it's journey, it's what to say. It's a process of life. You become a baby, a child, a man, a father, a husband, so on and so forth. It's life. And not every single man is ready for the stages of life. And as women, we need to understand that about our partners, about our significant others. Let's not force each other into stages of life that we're not ready for. All right. And that's my 2 cents. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate the love and the support, guys. Continue showing me some support. I promise you this. With every single little growth that this channel makes, I am going to better this production. I want to bring in more guests and bring in more and more and more people. And thank you so much for the love shown on the previous episode where me and my dad had a very, very raw conversation. He was almost to tears. I, at some point, almost broke into tears because of the stories that we shared. But it was a very heartful moment between me and my dad. And I love that episode. If you haven't watched it, please check it out. It's the previous one. And thank you so much for the love and support, y'all. I'll see you in the next one, man. So stay raw, stay strong. Peace.